Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into the inner world of the introvert. We're going to move way past the usual stereotypes to uncover some really powerful and often overlooked strengths. So, let's start by tackling the biggest misconception right out of the gate.
So, let's just get right to it with a question a lot of us have probably asked, either about ourselves or maybe someone we know. Is it actually bad to be an introvert? I mean, our society tends to put the super outgoing, outspoken people on a pedestal, right? And that can leave introverts feeling like there's something wrong with them. But what if that whole idea is just completely wrong?
Okay, to really get to the bottom of that, we got to throw out what we think we know. Because, people always mix up introversion with shyness, and that totally misses the point. The real key here, the fundamental difference, is all about one thing: energy.
So let's get on the same page with a solid definition. An introvert isn't someone who hates people, not at all. It's simply someone who feels really comfortable on their own, and, this is the key part, they actually gain energy from that quiet time. Don't think of it as a social thing, think of it as an energy source.
Yeah, this whole battery analogy, it's perfect. Think about it. An extrovert plugs into a crowd to charge up, they just soak up that social energy. But for an introvert, it's the exact opposite. Their battery recharges in solitude, so being alone isn't about hiding, it's about plugging in and getting their power back.
Okay, so now that we've got that whole energy thing down, let's talk about the first major strength that comes from it: being these amazing, thoughtful thinkers. You see, an introvert's quietness, it isn't just empty space. It's more like a workshop where they're doing some serious thinking.
I mean, check out this quote from our source material. It just nails it. It says, "They think clearly before they speak because they know that their word is the word." Wow. To an introvert, words have real weight. They're not just trying to fill the silence. They speak when they've actually got something meaningful to say. That thinking first makes their words incredibly precise and impactful. And this whole thoughtful process, it's also super empathetic. We're talking about really considering how the other person feels, thinking about the impact of their words, and just listening without jumping to conclusions. They're even tuned in enough to switch gears if a topic isn't landing right. So the big takeaway here is this: an introvert's silence, it's not boredom. It's a sign of real respect for the conversation.
And that actually leads us right into their second huge strength, which is all built on that idea of recharging. Let's talk about the incredible power of solitude.
Just the number one. For an introvert, this is everything. It represents the power of being in that individual state. And let's be clear, this isn't about being lonely. It's about that focused, super productive peace you can only find when you're with yourself. Choosing to be alone is a strategy, a choice for getting things done and feeling good.
And this time alone, this solitude, this is where the magic really happens. They're not just recharging their batteries, they're able to find this incredible deep focus. It's their time for reading, for learning, for diving into their hobbies, all without the drama or pressure of a big group. For an introvert, solitude isn't empty time at all, it's packed. All right, this brings us to our third and final strength, and this one tackles the biggest myth of them all: the idea that introverts don't like people. The truth? They absolutely value connection, maybe more than anyone. They just do it differently. For them, it is all about quality over quantity. I mean, just look at the difference here. Put an introvert with a few close friends, and they can be the most talkative, engaged person in the room, really sharing what's on their mind. But drop them into a big crowd of strangers, they'll shift into a quiet observer. And that's not because they're scared, it's just that the environment isn't right for the kind of deep, real connection they're looking for. So when you start putting all these pieces together, the careful way they communicate, the way they use solitude to focus, their need for deep connection, you stop seeing a weakness. What you actually see is a totally different and really potent kind of power. So let's just recap these amazing strengths. We've got thoughtful communication, intense focus and learning, deep, meaningful relationships, and this incredible self-reliance and independence. In a world that's always telling everyone to be louder, these are not problems that need to be fixed. They're quiet, serious assets.
And this last quote just drives that point home perfectly. They know how to motivate themselves and what they are doing right now. See? Their drive comes from within. They have this strong sense of who they are and what they're doing, and they don't need a crowd cheering them on to get it done.
So we're going to leave you with this question. Whether it's in yourself or in someone you know, what quiet superpower have you been totally overlooking? Because a lot of the time, the quietest person in the room is the one with the most powerful things to say. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.